Well, listen, thank you guys so much for being here tonight. This is our second elevation call of the month. And remember that elevation call in 23 is really about elevating our own self-development, because at the end of the day, it's really not about the income we make as much as it is about the people that we become. And so we've had a very, very exciting few weeks here. And I'm going to have Hal kick us off here. So
Sorry, I ran away.
I know, I got to keep you here.
Well, we're glad everybody's here tonight, and Lisa and I both are incredibly, almost overwhelmed, I guess, in a really great way with what we want to share with you tonight. And we're glad you're here, and we believe that this will be helpful to every single person, no matter who you are, and no matter what business, no matter what stage of life you are. We think that this will be helpful because it's perspective on some really important things. And so a year ago in January, we always set our goals, and we've talked about this. And for Hal and Lisa, together, we were very much in agreement that our overall goal for the year 2022, no matter what, was that we would end the year with a sense of well-being. I mean, that's a word that we kind of embraced. And throughout the year, many things happened that you could maybe sense like there wasn't well-being. But at the same time, a lot of things happened that were obviously creating well-being for us. Lisa started teaching line dancing at the senior center in Farmington and creating a collective joy there. And I'm telling you, if you were to show up there, anybody, and just watch or participate, you would be amazed at the collective joy and sense of well-being that's being created from people line dancing and exercising. And that's just one example. We have engaged in our community in different ways. When we think about our family, the health of our children, our family, like we're talking about mom and just different people, we look at that and say we have a sense of well-being. Lisa and I personally had a sense of well-being, and we look back on 2022 and we had that. And so rather than setting just financial goals and business goals and those kind of things, we looked at 2023 and said, what is our word or thoughts for 2023? And we've talked about this a little bit with you, and what we both came to an agreement with, that we really sensed the words were being of greater service to others and connectivity. And so we just kind of embraced that the 1st of January as our goal for the year. And then there's other things that we do, more specific, detailed goals, and writing those things out. But the overall theme has been that. And pretty quickly, we started seeing and feeling just opportunities to be of service, and in many different ways. And so that was, it's just, what is this, February the 19th? So it's only been 6 weeks of 2023. But early in this year, we started sensing that we were moving with some momentum personally, looking and investigating some opportunities. Lisa's holistic nurse coaching that she's mentioned. For me, some endeavors around other businesses of different types, which I have done for years, and blending those together and really being of service to others. And so some things begin to happen with that. And we begin to kind of find ourselves focusing on some things. And then a month ago, it's been about a month. So about 2 weeks into the year 2023, what happened to both of us kind of independently?
About we started waking up at the crack of dawn.
Before
the crack of dawn.
Way before the crack of dawn, between 3:30 and 4:30 in the morning.
Right.
Okay, sorry.
And then we were just in this kind of talking and problem solving and ideas generation on the same alignment. And it's been really exciting.
Yeah.
In fact, you want to kind of share a little bit more
about
what that's transpired?
Well, so what began to happen is I would wake up, and I've done this at times in my life, but this is like husband and wife doing kind of the same thing, and yet having the same kind of energetic energy and talking together about our sense of purpose in life and how things have come together, and that Like we can see the next 20 years of our lives being focused on a specific thing, and it incorporates so many things of our lives, my life experiences, my training, the things that I've been through, my personality, and then blending that with Lisa and her having her own version of that. And we just began to mesh at a point, and all of a sudden we really saw that something was happening, and something happening to us. And about middle of last week, I woke up, I don't know what time it was, around 4 or so in the morning, it doesn't matter. And I know that numbers of you have maybe experienced these things at times like this, and you're not waking up worried, you're waking up, with these thoughts that they're just moving you forward in life. And if you've never experienced that, my hope is that you will. But we have definitely been experiencing this, and I have some experience with that, and so does Lisa. But here's what hit me. And I want you to go ahead now, and because this is the teaching point. So what hit me was this: what I was experiencing was the difference, and what we were experiencing was the difference between being excited. The first page, yeah.
Right here.
Yeah. Being excited about possibilities. Is it on the screen?
Mm-hmm. Right
They
here.
can see it.
Can you guys see that? Yeah, Mary Ellen says yeah.
Okay. So what we realized was happening to us is that we were both experiencing the difference between being excited about possibilities and being empowered by purpose. And a lot of times in business and in life, we're challenged either by our spiritual leaders, our churches, our businesses, our partners, to have a purpose. What is your purpose? And I can tell you that many times in my life, when I've been asked that question, I've really had a hard time putting like 4 wheels on a car and moving it forward. I could give you parts of it. I had an idea of it. I could say it, but it oftentimes wouldn't really have energy. If you ask me at times in my life what I'm excited about, and I get that question fairly often when I encounter different people in the community, what are you doing these days? What are you excited about? And most people want to talk about what they're excited about, if there's anything they're excited about. But what we are realizing for us personally is that we, at this time in our lives, and we're just sharing it with you, that, and we're sharing it with you to teach it as a principle, a perspective, is that there is a difference. There is a difference between being excited about possibilities about something and being empowered by purpose. And let me give just some examples. Many of us have experienced encountering something that we think may change our finances, may change some dynamic of our lives. And it's presented in a way that it begins to stir up in us an excitement. We may talk here in a few minutes in the second half of this training about some products that for some of you, it may get you really excited. And that's great. And we love that. We love being excited about possibilities. Every time I go to the golf course, I have some excitement about the possibility of how I'm going to play. And I'm just being honest, right? I think in a smaller scale, if people enjoy watching movies, there may not be excitement, but you're anticipating maybe with some excitement, maybe a movie star or someone that you really like has come out with a new movie and you're excited about that. I'm really giving bad examples, but the point is that maybe, I don't know, you get excited about the possibility of a relationship. And some of y'all, I don't know, most of you have been in relationships for a long time, and hopefully you still get excited about those. But oftentimes, one of the illustrations that maybe most of us could relate to is that there have been times in our lives where we did get really excited about like relationships or something like that. And so, and those drive us and move us kind of down the road of life. But the reality is that many times that excitement about possibilities, when it encounters challenges, when it encounters disappointments, when it encounters setbacks, that those times of being excited about possibilities and you can't see the possibilities anymore, many people end up fading away and dropping off, dropping out, leaving that thing that they were excited about, or have no juice for it anymore. And so what happens is that there's no longer an excitement. There's no longer a dream. There's no longer a drive or a push toward what got you excited in the first place. And that's very, very common, very common. Along the way, things happen in business oftentimes where something is offered to re-excite you. And sometimes it does, but sometimes it doesn't. And even if it does, you're excited again about the possibility that you began with. And sometimes your excitement is increased, your activity increases, and so forth. And then you encounter some of those same things: self-doubt, disappointments, frustrations, life's challenges. And then once again, we lose that excitement. And sometimes again, we quit something else. And I can tell you from my own experience, from Lisa's, I know when she went to nursing school at ORU, what was that, 15, 20 years ago?
Oh, yeah, right. Like 100 years ago.
Right. You know, she was full on excited. She was so excited at ORU that she finished at the top of her nursing class. Now that's excitement. Okay. Kudos to Lisa, but within how many months of actually going to work as a nurse did you end up?
2
years.
2 months.
2 months.
Mary
So
Ellen
all
Canale.
those years of nursing school with the excitement of going into the field, the medical field, like her parents, and she gets there and reality hits, and guess what? The excitement is gone. Reality hits, and she's like, this ain't for me. But the excitement of the possibility that she worked so hard for so long, it just went away. And so, what's that about, right? You're so excited about a relationship. Everything's going good. You're buying flowers. Your whole focus is on that other person. You're excited about the possibilities of a life of all this wonder. And then you find out that, she's not a good cook, or he's not a good cook, or that, there's problems with with his mother, who knows? I'm just saying. And then you encounter those things, and all of a sudden the excitement of those possibilities goes away. And those are just general things that all of us have experienced. What Lisa and I are experiencing right now, though, we really believe is the culmination of our lives, me at 60 years old and her at, younger, a lot younger,
Yeah, right.
2 years. That all the things that we've been through in life, both the excitements, the disappointments, we believe that we're at a place where we're presently being truly empowered by purpose. And some of the projects and things that we're endeavoring into, which include a lot of the business that all of us are in together with, but we've always had, a bigger purpose in life than than this, whatever it is, this is, whatever your this is. If this is the thing that you're excited about, that's great. But if it doesn't fit and you can't see it fitting into a greater purpose, then probably your excitement's going to fade away and you're going to end up being frustrated. And so there is a huge difference. And I just want you to think about that for a minute. And that is that there's the difference between being excited about possibilities and being empowered by purpose. And there's many ways that empowered by purpose for us is kind of manifested. And some of the ways that that's happened for us is we wake up early in the morning, like super early, and we cannot go back to sleep because we're taking notes, we're moving, our day is beginning because we know we're working towards something that's more than just an excitement. Absolutely, we're excited about it, but we have an inner sense that many things are coming together somewhat easily, and just things kind of line up, become in alignment as we go through our day, and as we have ideas and we follow those ideas. And so, we're telling you that to say that that's what's happening with us, and we desire that for every single person. And I personally believe that every person who comes into this earth, who's born into this world, has a purpose. And it might take us, some people find that, stick with it by age 25, and it stays with them their entire life. But if you're like me, I'm 60 years old and I've many times been excited about things. Things have gone well and things have gone not well, just the opposite of well. But all of those things to me now in our lives, and Lisa could say the same thing, both the great successes and the great failures all point to a time where you can embrace the fact that you are now all of a sudden, almost unexpectedly, being empowered by a purpose. And what happens when that happens? I believe from our experience that when you're empowered by purpose, the excitement is not so much excitement as it is an awareness that there's something happening, and it's almost unexplainable. I have looked into the lives of other people who've experienced this, and what they say is that when you're empowered by purpose, the things that used to knock you off when you were simply excited about possibilities, they just bump you. They just bump you. And oftentimes they bump you down the road. Let me give you an example of what happened to us just this last week, within the last 2 weeks. Lisa and I were looking at a piece of real estate, which is a part of our moving forward in our purpose. It's a small piece. It's a purposeful piece of real estate that we went and looked at, and I was excited about it because I knew the property, and we got there and there'd been a price drop on it, which is really weird in this market, as almost all of you might know, that just doesn't happen. There'd been a significant price drop. Our realtor took us there, Beth took us over there, and we looked at it, and I was excited about it, but I wasn't quite prepared to pull the trigger on it. And the next day, 5 offers came in on it, and we didn't have a chance to make an offer. And when we found that out from Beth, we were sitting at lunch when we got that message, and immediately we were like, no, I wouldn't say devastated, but we were hit hard, and it just felt like a punch to us. But at the same time, what both of us knew was this isn't going to stop us at all. This is just like, it's just not the right place. It's just not the right one. And within probably 24 to 48 hours, we started kind of redirecting where we were looking. And we looked at another place, and it wasn't really a good fit for us. And what we found out like an hour or two, I think it was, after we looked at that property, that an offer came in on it. Or maybe actually before we even went and looked at it. Yeah, we said, we want to look at it anyway, just to see it. But as a result of those two things happening, and because we were empowered by purpose rather than just excited, what we realized is we were looking in the wrong place all along, and that the greater purpose really had us looking in a totally different area of Northwest Arkansas as where we need to be. And so a setback when we were empowered by purpose really wasn't a setback at all. It was a clarification. It was a better understanding of what we're supposed to be doing and where we're supposed to be. And once again, we kind of turned to each other and said, this is just a part of that being empowered by purpose rather than just being excited about this thing. So, we want to teach that, and we want you to think about that. We want you to think for yourself where you are and where you've been in whatever endeavor you're doing. Are you excited? Have you been excited at all? Maybe you've been excited at times on your own or as a group. Many times when we go to functions together, or you get excited about something, you get excited about it, and then within a matter of a week or two, a few things didn't work out exactly right. Something happens, and all of a sudden little hits begin to take the excitement away. But if you're driven by and empowered by a purpose, then you get through those things. And actually those things make you stronger and redirect you and clarify. So if you're in a situation in life, which probably most of us, because I'm telling you, I would say that we have been very engaged in doing things and helping people and serving people and building business and doing well and being successful and helping others through things and introducing things, and we love that and we get excited about it. I can say that we were only tasting a measure of what we sensed was being empowered by purpose. Would you agree? Mm-hmm. And we've talked about that we love doing this, and a part of the business that many of us or all of us do together, there's parts of it because of the nature of what it is and helping other people and the way that it helps other people with their health, especially, you can really be empowered by purpose in helping other people. Like really, that could keep you going if you desire to really help other people and share that message where their lives can be changed. Whether you're making a lot of money or not, or whether things are going well or not, you can hang on to a purpose like that when there's no excitement. And so I guess what I want to leave you with is, let's go to the next slide, that when you're not feeling like you're being truly empowered by purpose and the excitement is gone, I think there's some things that we have done that have not only, they haven't brought back the excitement, but they've kept us on the course. They've kept us available to embrace and be empowered by our purpose. And so for you, or for all of us, until you wake up one day and realize that your life is absolutely, without question, being empowered by your purpose, and you don't have the excitement that is possible, there's some things that I would recommend you do. And the first is expand your perspective. Take a step back and just expand your perspective on your life and say, there's been some things, there's been some up and downs. I want to bring those all together and say, I'm better today than I was 20 years ago. I'm a better person. I've helped people. I've done things. These things have worked out in my favor. I want to gain and expand perspective. I want to step away and look at the big picture rather than getting focused on any small piece. Because when you're excited about something, that's great. If your focus is on something you're excited about, that's great. If you're really up close to what you're excited about. But at the same time, if that excitement goes away and you have an up close perspective, then guess what? You don't have anything to look at. And you have to step back and get a bigger picture. The second thing is to embrace your present. Where are you right now? Am I excited? Am I being driven by purpose? Am I disappointed? Am I frustrated? What's going on in my life right now? And I want to embrace that. Whatever it is, I'm going to embrace that it actually is a part of the greater plan toward my greater purpose in life. Whatever it is, no matter what it is, I want to embrace that. I want to be grateful for that. Whatever it is, I am in the right place at the right time right now. Everything that's ever happened to me from my conception to this present moment, at this present moment, I am exactly where I'm supposed to be right now. I don't know what tomorrow brings, but I have a purpose in my life, and I am sitting here right now, embracing the present, waiting on that greater future. I would also say that during this time, you do the best you can to engage what you're passionate about. Engage with what you're passionate about. Don't do what other people are passionate about and try to be as passionate as they are about it. Engage joyfully in what you're passionate about. And so that's during times that people are no longer excited or not having a purpose for themselves, find what you do have a passion about. And I'm telling you, it might be, polishing silver. I don't know what it is. It may be planting flowers. It may be loving on bunnies. It might be writing a book. It might be walking around a lake. It might be going and having coffee with people in your community. It might be, who knows what it is. But when you have lost your vision or sense of being purposeful in life, and you've lost excitement about something you're, quote, supposed to be excited about, find what you are passionate about and get that feeling again and enjoy it, no matter what it is. Just simply enjoy it, embrace it. And if it means going to a pool and buying a swimming suit at age 85, not thinking that you want to do it, get in that pool and see if maybe you can start feeling better again. And it might turn into a momentary passion or something, I'm just saying. And so then the final thing is, during times like this, and I've seen Lisa do this final thing better than anybody I have ever seen, and that is to employ your perseverance. Employ your perseverance. And that is to just do the daily, whatever the daily is. If you believe that prayer and meditation and reading something of inspiration is important to you and you don't feel like doing it when you're not excited and when you're living without purpose, do the things like an employee. Employ the perseverance on the thing that you know in your head and your heart and that other people do to move themselves down the road into their purpose. Being on this call for this, whatever it is, employ perseverance. And so this is the waiting game. This is the place where you are when you're operating your life without a great excitement and without a sense of greater purpose. And you're just waiting. You're literally waiting, gaining perspective, being in the present, finding something to be joyful and passionate about, and remaining, holding steady with perseverance. And so these are just a few things that I think we have done. Lisa and I have done separately before we got together, as all of y'all know, 4 years ago. Both of us were separately doing these things. We were constantly, personally gaining perspective on life and making shifts. We were embracing where we were in life, living in the present. Also finding what we're passionate about and living life. And then finally, just showing up every day, employing perseverance. And what will happen is maybe you'll get excited about something again. But what would be better is all of a sudden, out of nowhere, turning a corner, literally walking down the street, waking up one day, having a thought, reading something from some source, all of a sudden you have your life like interrupted with, wow, this is something that is empowering me to move forward. And I'm not only excited, but I believe I'm literally being empowered by a source that's going to carry me into the purpose for my life. And so anyway, that's a general story of what we're doing, without getting too specific, because it's kind of still in gestation and it's personal. It's just an opportunity for Lisa and I to do some things with the blessings that we've encountered from Zalise and the life that Zalise has given us, to impact many, many other people's lives in ways that are needed. And it's an opportunity for us to be of service, really in special ways for the rest of our lives. And we're super excited about that. But I thought from it was a great lesson to share with you that there is a major difference between being excited about possibilities and being empowered by purpose. And so that's our teaching for tonight.
Fantastic.
Did you like that?
I did. A lot of E's and P's, and I see some claps there.
Oh,
and
that's sweet.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We're gonna just kind of pause on that for a minute and kind of transition. Beth says, thank you for sharing that. Love it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Beth. And Beth's one of our line dancers, so she gets extra credit for that. That goes a long way with me. Anybody else that wants to come Tuesdays at 10 o'clock at the Senior Center in Farmington, Arkansas, you guys, we have a lot of fun. So thank you, Christina. She said great teaching. So just a little shift here. Thank you for that. You'll be hearing a little bit more about what Hal's referring to, just one of the blessings again of Zalise and the income that this platform can provide. But we like to start this section on kind of where are we right now with Zalise and who on our team is moving and shaking right now. We have two ways of kind of categorizing that. So Hal, tell us who's on the
leaderboard, on the international Zalise leaderboard.
Who's excited now?
We have, for those who are enrolling wholesale customers and potential business builders or larger packs, we have 3 from our team. At number 16 is Sandra Mitchell out of Indiana. Congratulations to Sandra.
And Christina, her partner.
That's kind of new. She'd be new.
She'd be new.
And then, Hal and Lisa end up on this leaderboard pretty often. And I think it has to do more with the fact that we are empowered by our purpose more than being excited. And I will tell you, consistency is a key sign to someone who's driven by purpose more than being excited for a month or two. And I think everyone can relate to that. If you've ever hit the leaderboard during a month of excitement for whatever reason, and then you don't get back on that leaderboard, it's great. You had a moment of excitement, but when you see people who are on the leaderboard month after month or on a regular basis throughout the year, you can pretty much tell that in some way they are being empowered by purpose. And I think that especially for Lisa, is demonstrated in her always being on the leaderboard because of her. And then at number 10 is Rebecca Wallage.
That's Scooby.
Scooby. I don't know her name. I don't even know who Rebecca Wallage is.
She goes by Scooby.
Scooby. And so congratulations, Scooby. I don't know if she's on the call, but congratulations to her. And then over on the leaderboard, top 25 leaderboard at number 17 on personal volume side is Chris Ballou, sponsored by and partnered with Christina Durham and Indiana. And then also a regular on the leaderboard is Dr. Steve and Jenny Todd, our Blue Angel Dental out of Pensacola, Florida. There they are.
They're on the phone. Yeah.
Yeah. They're probably with their grandkids tonight or something special. So anyway, congratulations to all of you.
I find it really interesting, having been with this business for over 5 years now, if you look at personal sponsorships, which is part of the leaderboard, and then you look at personal volume or retail, you kind of learn a lot about who is engaging in this business. And on the personal leaderboard on our team, Scooby and, you and I and Sandra all came as a result of launches. And this month.
Right.
And in fact, we Marcia Smith, are you on the call right now, Marcia? Marcia.
Are you going to tell them what a launch is?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Marcia, I'm going to let Marcia, tell everybody what a launch is.
Hello, everyone. Well, my definition of a launch is being really, really scared. No, I gather
you've never done this before, have you, Marcia?
No, but I'm really grateful that I have some coaching in my background. So getting in front of people on a Zoom call I had some comfort. So if you had never done that and you've done a launch, then I'm very impressed by you, because it was very scary. I had a huge adrenaline rush for sure. What is a launch? It's about starting to believe in yourself and your product and showing people the value of it and gathering people that have a sense of wonderment for their health and their bodies, and that trust you and will hopefully listen to the message and then sign up with you.
Yeah.
So that's what I learned.
And Marcia did her first launch on Thursday, and Marcia is in the Buffalo, New York area. She's a holistic nurse coach. One of my colleagues who's ahead, she's already graduated. She's already out there practicing. And when we met really regarding a colleague, she said that she was specializing in stress management, and that was kind of created that conversation like, so what do you know about the endocannabinoid system? And Marcia, I just have to say, I want to recognize you for just mastering the material. She did, 75% really of the presentation.
Of the Zoom presentation.
The Zoom presentation, the hemp project. And she did such a really good job. I said, I want you to kind of do a launch for our team sometime. And not everybody knows really what that looks like. And so Marcia basically got voluntold that she was going to do a launch for everyone at some point. And so we will definitely schedule that, Marcia. But as a result, tell us just really briefly, what kind of follow-up have you heard from that? You had 7 people on the call, and you've been kind of following up with people. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I had a total of 8, and everybody's been very welcoming to have the follow-up. I had one person the same night say they wanted to try the CBD, CBG. So I got that to her the next day. And I have someone that wants to sign up as wholesale. I have another person that's still kind of thinking about it, but I think hopefully with Lisa's help, we'll, educate her a little bit more and she'll feel comfortable making that decision. Some people are just not in a position financially, price point's a little high, but they understand the product and they really would like to use it. So that to me is still like a difficult area, because I would like to just give everybody something and get people started, but I know that that's not very practical. And then one of the people that were on my call is someone I know, but not, I wouldn't call them my friend. And he ended up being very knowledgeable. And we had in our follow-up conversation, he told me a whole lot of stuff that I didn't know, and I'll share it with Lisa someday, but he's looking at growing his own hemp and making his own products. So he's got a very long history of medical problems, and he has taken it upon himself to try to find ways to help himself through natural holistic type medicine, because our healthcare system just isn't cutting it for him. So, and he's done a great job, and he's way more mobile than he was 5 years ago or even 10 years ago because of what he's learned. And so he might
That's
be more of
awesome.
a resource than a customer, but that's okay. But yeah,
Awesome.
I'm excited about the process that people want to hear things, and they are interested in learning more for themselves and, about the human body. And even the youngest two people in the group, their comments was, I love the part about the science, like why it works, and so that is really cool to me, because I love to be an educator as far as the science goes. So.
Well, thank you, Marcia. And
Welcome.
honestly, I was proud of you just for, following the recommendations. And you're like, maybe we should give it another week. And I'm like, no, it doesn't take very long to sign up for a Zoom call. I think we got it, you got it done in 30 or 40 minutes. So it really does make a lot of sense now to really do these launches. Christina did a live one with Sandra, Rebecca Wallach-Scooby. She and Wendy did a very creative one on the West Coast on Zoom. So we're really seeing some life giving to the business by doing these launches. So
my only point about this, and I want to say this to everyone, many of people on this call have done in some way forms of launches in the past. Back when we were live before COVID and people could go face to face, you did launches. When we started embracing the Zoom technology, we encouraged launches, meaning like first time introducing to your sphere of influence, your circle of people, your trusted, like Marcia said, people who know you, love you, support you, blah, 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 right? Those kind of people. And you do those launches. All right. Now for us, Lisa, would you say it's been a long time since you and I personally have launched? Yeah. It has been. It's been years since we personally had a launch. Like we launched a long time ago, right? But we have new people. Marcia's a great example. Marcia meets Lisa and they meet, and because Lisa is empowered by purpose to impact people's lives, Marcia is brought into our team personally. And now through that, Lisa helps Marcia launch, and 8 people heard about this for the first time the other night. So though it's been a long time since we launched, this is where your perspective needs to be. There's someone out there waiting on me to help them launch so that they can lead us to 5, 4, 3, 8, 12, whatever people who need to hear this. And so many of us are way past the day of launching. It's like, you can only, how can I say this? I'm hesitating, and you're going to see what. You can only consummate the marriage once. Okay, you can only start once, and you can only go once. You can only launch one time. Well, but you can continue to reach out to people, and when you find new people, you can help them get launched. And that's what we're talking about tonight, is those people know people. and you're helping them then. So
It makes it a lot of fun. And I think Marcia in hindsight would agree that once it's done, it really was fun. And I know Christina and Sandra had a great time in Owensboro. And so just kind of to switch gears, this is where you guys are going to chime in. We have another kind of launch that we talk about, and this one has come up pretty quickly. And this kind of launch is when new products are produced and released by the company. So I want to hear from you guys as to what are some of the benefits of a new product launch? Who knows?
Get more customers.
Scooby does.
New customers, Scooby? Hey,
And
Scooby?
also when you have new product, you can actually do a launch. I'm going to do it every 2 weeks. So when you have new product, you can actually throw that in there and launch all the products.
Look at you, Scoob. You're going to do another bedtime story.
Oh, no, I got something else coming up.
Oh, cool. We
Oh,
can't
yeah.
wait to see
It's
that.
not going to be the same every time because then everybody's going to be like a bedtime story. Really? We already know what that is. You got to keep everybody on their toes and always wondering like what you got, up your sleeve.
That's awesome. So true. So true. Create some
Lisa, you got excitement also,
absolutely excitement for sure. Any other thoughts? Possibilities, excitement
Group
about
volume,
volume,
group volume.
group volume.
Thank you. That's right.
Absolutely. I think that was Jenny Todd. Was
No,
that?
that was Jenny Todd.
That's right.
And Mary Ellen, I thought, said it too. I thought, yeah. So here's the thing about these two. All right. When you are a area, regional, national, or above ambassador, and you have teams of people, one of the great things for you is that a new product launch means an immediate boost in your volume for that month. And it re-engages a lot of people. Now, if you have a very small team, the impact is smaller, typically, overall. So the larger your team is, the more a launch impacts your volume, which means your income and future opportunity. So this is why persistence and consistency and building a team in between launches is benefited, and you have a little more excitement about a launch for the moment because of that.
Right. And every single product launch that we have experienced in the last 5 years, we have bought the product. Don't necessarily buy masses of it, but I want to personally use the product myself. And we are now fortunate that we're at a rank that the company actually sends us product in advance.
A sample.
A sample, if you will.
Yeah.
And so there are 3 new products that are going to be released tomorrow night on the Freedom Call, which is super cool because nobody has to leave home to see that. And you're going to be in an opportunity, hopefully you'll be on, and because product usually runs out pretty quickly on a launch, to be able to place an order, at least for yourself, to experience these 3 new products. Now, you guys know I've given some clues, but technically we really can't tell you what it is, but we only have a day to wait. But one of the products, I know I have been asking for this for an entire year. And whereas all the other products for Zalease are skin on the face, this one might be a little broader than that. That's my clue for you guys. And so it's something that I really feel like has a lot of retail potential beyond just a salon and a spa. It smells amazing. And so I'm really, really excited about that. Now, some of you guys might order and might use them and be overwhelmed or underwhelmed. But remember what Hal talked about. It's that sense of purpose. The overall goal is that this is another transfer buy potentially, that instead of buying your, whatever this new product is, at retail somewhere else, that you can actually bring that in-house. And as long as you're doing 50 in business volume every month, you can maintain activity, be active with Zalease. And therefore, it just gives us more power with our product base. And Karen Hale had suggested shampoo, and that's a good guess.
It's close.
It's close, but maybe not, or maybe
not this time.
Maybe
but
not this
who knows
time.
about the future.
That would be awesome. So anyway, I just wanted you guys to be aware of just from a business perspective, this is an important launch because this is not just about internal health. It does broaden the market a bit for all of us. And that's a great thing.
The other,
wanna add?
well, yeah, I'm not sure that it was mentioned. I think it probably was, but I just want to say that always at every product launch, when it's a product, maybe not a service, but oh, I'm not going to mention travel. Anyway, when it's a product, the value that we're offered in price is always better. It's always a better price volume, which means
At the launch.
at the launch price, which allows you, if you're someone who thinks maybe one, I'm going to either just buy it for the rest of the year and use it for a year, just me, I'm not going to share it with anybody or try to sell it. But if you have in mind that you want to make some retail money, this is going to be your best opportunity for margin on new product, is the shows, what they call show specials, which are going to be different versions of that. And it's a business thing that all businesses do in different ways. And you know, it's up to you to make it.
And here's the last thing on the business of the launch. You cannot expect anyone else to want to purchase this if you don't want it yourself. It's the sad rule of business that you've got to go first. Leaders jump first on everything.
Yeah, I got a friend who owns a Ford dealership, and he cannot figure out why he can't sell any Fords as he pulls in the parking lot in his Chevy.
Not so smart. Very true. So anyway, you guys we'll pause here in just a minute, but I have one other really special announcement that I'm very excited about. And I want to pull something up here, one more thing. And I want to bring Kristen Olander as we kind of pivot here just a bit, because Kristen has been working on something that is going to bless the entire team. And Kristen Olander, thank you so much for your creative genius, for thinking for all of us. And I want you to tell us what you have as an extra credit assignment for next Sunday.
To tune in, to invite. So thank you for the opportunity. And I'm kind of vibrating with that story about getting up at 3:30 in the morning, because I went into like 2 weeks of what I call rampages. I've got 2 whiteboards in my house, and from 3:30 to 5, this is Eastern time, so we're off, but I would just write these things out. And that's part of how this was put down onto paper. But really, I'd like to go back and tell you how this began was that I've got Angela in the room behind me. She's in a picture. And this is a perfect message of masterminding, lifting up that message of creating, collaborating together. And several years ago, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, it was a trip to Evansville. We were cruising around town in our Jeep and calling on people and having conversations. And we were riding around the farm with Judy and things like that, and had a sleepover. And we started throwing out a bunch of ideas and going back and talking about some things. And I remember kind of doing a newsletter back for Commodore back in the 80s. And we thought we were kind of old and maybe we needed to start something like you couldn't really get out and stuff like that. Maybe we start a virtual newsletter. And I had just written down virtual newsletter, and things come up, and we didn't really put that to pass. But what we wanted to do was to provide monthly topics, bring topics of interest to light, that we could invite people to. We would design these things maybe around what was happening in the month, maybe a celebration of mental health or this or that. Just kind of putting ideas down, kind of a roundtable discussion and featured guests. And so with that, I brought it back out and put some things to paper. When you, Lisa, introduced this topic of equalizing the health lifespan equation, and you put that picture up there, it was like, oh, there's the topic, there's the first start. And so because I'm empowered by purpose, and I think that empowered by purpose brings other empowered by purpose people into our lives, I do have relationships with several people on our team where I wanted to leverage their experience. I'm talking about Lisa with her experience and shift on that topic, bringing the Todds in because of their role in bringing hemp with the Hemp Health Initiative. Some of you may not know about that, but they're very influential in this industry. And so we're going to talk about the science. I'm going to talk about the technologies because I love Dr. Todd's ultrasound technology. He's implementing the technology, and then back it up with how that kind of influence feeds into people like Yolanda Goff, where she's a health coach. She works in several areas. We'll touch on some topics maybe on mental health, weight management, stress, anxiety, because they're part of the story. So your experience is going to come to light. We're going to connect these conversations, make it followed up with Hal, who's going to talk about the industry, our timing and positioning, and then giving people an opportunity to get back to the person who invited them with where they fit in. Are they seeking health? Are they looking for, investigating other things? What caught their attention on the call? And providing the resources, maybe even listing out the resources that are kind of referenced, so that people know that they have a place to come to get connected with people, with the resources, and then guiding the conversations from there.
Fantastic, Kristen.
So everyone's welcome to this. It's a special Sunday night call at 7
So it's next
Central
week.
Time, right?
It's in place of the elevation call.
Well, we don't normally
yeah,
have one in that slot. It's an hour ahead of the national call from Zalise, but this one's very unique and different. Kristen, you've done a great job putting this together. The marketing, the team of people, the message, and what you're doing with it. This is for a person who's not launching, but is constantly relaunching. I mean, that's you, right, Kristen? You're constantly moving it forward, always creative, new and fresh ideas, engaged, and you have employed perseverance.
She has, and it's just really finding new ways to get the information in front of a lot of people. And when Kristen came to me, it was really just going to be this panel discussion, and she was going to be inviting, her team and her prospects. And I'm like, hey, let's just allow everyone to ride along. And if you want to be a fly on the wall and you just want to show up and see what it's all about, you're welcome to, but you're going to be kicking yourself that you didn't invite some people to actually get in and hear the information. Because everyone responds a little different. Some people would rather be on a personal launch call. Health professionals, people who are health seeking, possibly even, consumers who have specific issues would be candidates for this type of information. And since next Sunday, we don't really have an elevation call, Kristen got, really coordinated this all. And we had my son, Nate, put it into a flyer. And so here it is for everyone. Kristen, thank you for doing this and for posting it on Team Unlimited.
One more thing about that, and we can't make any promises about this, but this call is on Sunday night, February 26th. And sometimes the way that Stephen Thompson makes decisions at the last minute, he might offer what's called a red zone special at the end of the month. And usually that's a better opportunity for either a new launch product or, more importantly, for guests to join the business. There's extra incentive in a red zone oftentimes for people who are guests who are on the fence about getting in as a wholesale customer, or one of our larger kits, business builder kits, where it's a better deal in the red zone. And so just keep in mind that you have an opportunity to invite guests for Sunday night, and then also to follow up with some specials offered by Zalise. That's not a promise, cannot guarantee it. I'm not even suggesting that it's going to happen, but sometimes it does happen. And if Stephen gets some good momentum from the launch tomorrow night, he may carry something special to keep that momentum going, because Stephen really is all about momentum. When there's momentum started, he will try to throw fuel on the fire for your business. Mm-hmm. And so, just think about that in terms of, we got a launch tomorrow night with 3 new products, and then have this special call that Kristen's put together and opened up to all of us. And there is a potential that maybe Stephen, and we might even put a little bug in his ear about the possibility of closing the month with a red zone special. After all, it is Valentine's and it's a red month for Valentine's. So who knows? But, we don't have that much influence with him, but we can at least ask.
Kristen, did you have anything else? Did we?
The only thing I wanted to mention was that it's, I found that if I attach this to an email and just say, I thought of you, this is why I thought of you, and invite them to the call is a great way to invite people. And then also I was, just out and about talking to some people that I know, my chiropractor, the hair salon gal, I just walked past today, went, oh, I'm gonna go in. And I did the invitation along with like a, like a health assessment or the product finder. And I actually capture their information. There's some people I kind of know. I mean, take your pick. It could be new people too. I've done it to a variety, but to invite them, and I capture their information on that sheet. And the girl yesterday said, yes, I want to know more. And oh, I see that you've got skincare and Happy Coffee. Now, we're not talking about that on the call necessarily. And I just said, I see that you're interested in that. Great. We can talk about that. This call is going to be in the call, and left it with them. So whether you drop it off, you've got some different opportunities to capture some information, make some new relationships, and invite.
Great work, Kristen. And I'm just looking at the chat here. Christina says we need body lotion. Mary Ellen says we need body lotion. Nikki says yes. Karen Hale says body lotion would be great. So absolutely, I cannot say a word, just saying. And yes, next Sunday Zooms will be recorded for sure. And Kristen is going to post this flyer on Team Unlimited so that you guys can download that. So Susan definitely will give that for you for your practice. And the PDF will be available for us to have access to, so anyone who's asked about PDFs, we will definitely post that with a PDF. Let's see. And then Christina says, I hope an exfoliator is on the way. It's the thing still missing from my skincare routine. And I can't comment on that either.
What's that?
The exfoliation.
Oh, what is that?
Oh, that's a long story.
Okay.
Hal might not even know it if he used it, just saying. But
For your teeth?
you're exfoliating your teeth.
I
You
don't
could
know.
try it.
Okay.
So great conversation. You guys, thank you guys for being on. I'm going to stop the recording, but we are going to stay on here. So here's some.